Hello and welcome to TalkFCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys, and welcome to the Champions League 2019-20. And in today's video, there is lots to discuss ahead of the Champions League group stage. Very excited now to get that underway, and the Champions League group stage begins in just 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks today, the teams will take to the field, and the excitement of the coming campaign, it will begin. On the 17th of September, the group stage there will begin, and it'll conclude on the 11th of December, just under 2 months there of group stage action, and on the 11th of December, we will know exactly who's going through. Those 16 teams will be progressing to the knockout stages. 8 further teams there, of course, will drop down into the Europa League, those that finish third, and the rest of the teams, they will be eliminated altogether out of Europe, and certainly, there is plenty to play for, and in today's video, it's prediction time. Every single group, it's going to be analysed, and I'm going to be predicting here exactly who I feel will be going through to the knockout stages and who will go crashing out. It's all coming up. Let's get right to it. And if we start here in alphabetical order, we're going to start here with Group A. Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid, Galatasaray and Club Brugge competing here to progress from Group A. And I think when you're looking at this group, the first thing that you have to decide is Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid. Those two for me, certainly, when you're looking at it there, those are the two that are going to be going through to the knockout stages. Galatasaray and Club Brugge are very decent sides. I think Galatasaray have made some decent signings this summer. Radamel Falcao has just arrived for them, and Club Brugge, of course, did very well last season in their domestic league. But PSG, Real Madrid there, they are a step apart. And that's why, for me, I have gone there with Paris Saint-Germain in first, Real Madrid in second, Galatasaray there getting the Europa League place, and Club Brugge there finishing bottom of the table. And I've gone PSG to finish top, simply because right now, Real Madrid are not quite firing. They've got a lot of new signings. It's sort of new dawn for Real. They're trying to really assert themselves under Zidane once again. But things for me aren't exactly working out. I think PSG have got some very good players. Neymar's staying now, Cavani, Mbappe. They've just brought in Mauro Icardi as well. They're going to be an exciting team to watch, as they always are in the Champions League, and I feel there they've just about got the edge on Real Madrid. Moving on then to Group B, starting here with Bayern Munich, Tottenham, Olympiacos and Red Star Belgrade there competing in Group B, and certainly once again the two teams you're looking at, Bayern Munich, Tottenham, they for me there are a step ahead of the rest. Those two are going to be the two that qualify there for the knockout stages, but in what order? Bayern Munich, of course, a very strong, very consistent side. They won the league, of course, they did last season once again, but Tottenham under Pochettino had a terrific campaign, finished third in the Premier League, got of course to the Champions League final, but this season they haven't started so well. There's a few players in their team who are a bit unsettled right now. Christian Eriksen, a few defenders there. Trippier's left, of course, gone to Atletico Madrid, and certainly Tottenham didn't have a brilliant summer. I didn't feel like they had a brilliant transfer window, and that's why for me I am going to go Bayern to top the group there with Coutinho in their ranks. Bayern finishing top, then Tottenham, then Olympiacos, and then Crvena Zvezda in Group B. That's the way I see it going. On now to Group C, which will see Manchester City, Shakhtar Donetsk, Dinamo Zagreb and Atalanta all going head-to-head there in Group C, and straight away you are looking square in the face at Pep Guardiola's Man City side, because they right now are terrific. Yes, they dropped points, of course, to Tottenham. That's their only blemish so far this season, but they didn't deserve to. They have been magnificent so far. They made a great signing in Rodri. He's come in, really completing their midfield, and I think certainly Man City are going to run away with this group. They really are. At times away from home in Europe with Pep Guardiola, you can have some surprising results, but I think Man City here are going to be very comfortable. But it's the second spot really that I want to take a look at here, because Shakhtar Donetsk are a very good side. On their day, they're capable of giving anybody a game. Dinamo Zagreb, I feel, are the weaker team in the group, and Atalanta, they've got everything to prove here. They've got everything to gain in this Champions League group stage. They're making their appearance here very much on merit. They were brilliant last season in Serie A, and that's why I'm going to go Man City, of course, to top the group, but I'm going to go here with Atalanta to get into the knockout stages, and that would be wonderful for me there. They were breathtaking last season. They got such exciting attacking players. They've made some good signings too. Shakhtar will be very close on home soil. They're very good, but I'm going Atalanta, Shakhtar and Dinamo Zagreb there to finish bottom of Group C. Now, if we move on to Group D, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen and Lokomotiv Moscow there in Group D. And once again, Juve, Atletico, those are the two big hitters that stand out for me to progress there to the knockout stages. But again, you're saying, in what order? Juve, of course, met Atletico in the Champions League knockout stage last season. Atletico won the first leg 2-0, but Juve came back in the second leg, and Atletico simply crumbled that night. Will it happen again? I'm not so sure. I think certainly over the summer, yes, Atletico have lost a lot of key players. They have done, but they've recouped a lot of money there, and they've spent it well. They've made some really, really good signings. They've rejuvenated their team. They look like a team right now who not only can defend well, but they can score goals. João Felix really, really excites me, and Juventus will be one of the top teams. Juventus, I feel, will still go to the Champions League latter stages, but I'm going to go here. Atletico Madrid to top the group. They're currently top of La Liga. I think they're going to top their Champions League group too, ahead there of Juventus, with Bayer Leverkusen dropping into the Europa League and Lokomotiv Moscow finishing bottom there of Group D. But that one, that's all to play for. Then on to Group E, which of course contains the reigning European champions in Liverpool, matched once again with Napoli this time around, as well as Salzburg and Genk as well in their Group E. And certainly, once again, you're looking at Liverpool, you're looking at Napoli. Of course, there might be shocks. There might be shocks, of course, to come in the Champions League. But looking at it right now, Liverpool, Napoli are the standout teams there to progress from Group E. But in what order? And can Salzburg there, can Genk really trouble the top two? I don't think so here. I'm going to go Liverpool quite comfortably there to top the group. Napoli are a good side. Carlo Ancelotti very much familiar with this competition. They're going to put up a good fight, but I think Liverpool there under Jurgen Klopp again this season, they look so good, particularly there in the attacking areas. Their firepower up front is off the scale. Liverpool in top, Napoli second, Salzburg there to drop in the Europa League, and I think they're going to do very, very well in the Europa League. They often do in European competitions, and Genk there finishing bottom. That would complete Group E. And now, of course, it is time for the one that you guys have been waiting for. It's Group F, with Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund, Inter Milan and Slavia Prague completing their Group F. And this one, I feel, is the most exciting group, and that's not me being biased. I just think it is the most exciting group of the Champions League campaign because there's so much quality and really, really big European nights to come. Barca going to Dortmund, Barca going to San Siro, everybody there coming to the camp now. It's so exciting to see what's going to happen, and I think we've really got a challenge here to finish top of the group and maybe even to get out of it, because I think Dortmund are a very, very good side. I think they're going to push Bayern Munich all the way this season in the Bundesliga once again for the title. And I think Inter, under Antonio Conte, they've really strengthened this summer. They brought in Lukaku, Alexis Sanchez, Mauro Icardi has gone out the door, but they've made some good signings and they've got a real unity now under Antonio Conte. And I think it's going to be tough. I really, really do. I do feel quite sorry for Slavia Prague. I think they're going to be quite comfortably bottom of the group. But this is how I'm going to go. Barcelona to top the group, very, very closely followed by Borussia Dortmund, and then very, very closely followed by Inter. I think between the top three there, not just the top two, but the top three, it's going to be very, very marginal. There's not going to be much to spare. There's not going to be any room for error. Barcelona here, if they're going to finish top, they need to be on it, because those two teams will test us to the absolute maximum. But hopefully, we can get through it. And as we now move on to the final two groups, here's Group G for you guys. Zenit St. Petersburg, Benfica, Lyon and RB Leipzig there completing Group G. And that for me is a really exciting group too. Very, very closely matched teams there. Zenit, of course, have brought in Malcolm this summer. Benfica are always strong in Europe, but I think possibly might be stronger there. If they drop down into the Europa League, they could have a really good run there once again. And Lyon, of course, that we met in the Champions League last season in the knockout stages. And RB Leipzig, every single season, they seem to grow, they seem to improve, they've kept hold of Timo Werner, that's massive for them. And now, of course, their coach by Jurgen Nagelsmann, who I think is a very, very exciting young coach. And right now, they're top of the Bundesliga, they got maximum points, and that's why for me, I'm going Leipzig, top this group. RB Leipzig in first, Lyon there in second, they got some good players, and they've started the season pretty well there in France. Benfica there, dropping into the Europa, and Zenit could actually finish bottom here, even though they've got some very good players, trips to Russia, and never ever easy. They're going to be tough to beat at home. It's going to be a tough visit there to go and play Zenit, but at the same time, I've got them going out and Leipzig finishing top. And finally, guys, it is time now for Group H, which contains Chelsea, Ajax, Valencia, and Lille. And for me, again, an exciting group. You've got Chelsea, of course, who've been very, very successful in previous years in this tournament, but recently not so great and not so consistent, of course, that they've appeared in the Champions League. You've got Ajax, wonderful, wonderful campaign for them last season, reaching the semi-finals. Valencia, who are here once again, and Lille, who had a terrific season last season, but I do feel losing their two key attackers over the summer transfer window, that is going to trouble them. That's why I feel Lille will finish bottom of this group, but what is going to be the top three, and in what order? I'm going here, Ajax, topping that group. Yes, they've lost key players, but they've still got the core of that team. They've lost Frenkie de Jong, they've lost Matthias de Ligt, but they still have the core of players that got them so far last season, and they've made some good signings over the summer. And I think Chelsea right now are still inconsistent. Under Frank Lampard, with the transfer ban they had, this is very much a transitional season, a transitional period. They are going to be inconsistent. Sometimes they're going to be brilliant, but sometimes they are going to fall short. And I feel here, Ajax, with a consistent team behind them, they can finish top. Chelsea in second, Valencia there a very close third, and into the Europa League where they could do some good things, and Lille finishing bottom of the group. And that there concludes my Champions League predictions. So that there, guys, is my personal thoughts on what we should be expecting to see in the Champions League group stage. But of course, this is just my opinion. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen. I'm not saying right here it's a fact. But of course, you can let me know yours. What do you think of the Champions League group stage? How do you think it's going to play out? Who's going to come out on top? And who is going to crash out? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm very, very excited for this. And I'm excited too to see your predictions. I'll see you soon, guys. Thanks for watching as always. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.